Hello and welcome to the GoNoGo show, or shall I say welcome back to the GoNoGo show. We took a few weeks off due to certain family issues or whatnot, but it's very nice to be back. And I'm here with my esteemed colleague and co-host, Joe. Joe, how are you today?
I'm good. It's good to be back. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, Nies couldn't make it because he's currently all famous and stuff like that, so he left us bottom feeders by the wayside. But he sends his apologies and he wishes he could be here. But we have Joe here, the handsome Joe, to help us out. If you don't remember, Joe was with us one of the episodes a few weeks back, and he has his own stuff going on. Tell us about that.
I'm doing a podcast called The Creepy Corner. You can find that on iTunes. It's a lot of fun. It's not for children at all. No, don't let your children. It's a lot of fun. It's just a bunch of guys messing around.
And yeah, you got some stand-up stuff going on too, right?
We got some stand-up going on. We do once a month at the Heritage on McLean Avenue in Yonkers. It's called Wits and Whiskey. We have a lot of good comedians. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time.
So he's a clown. I brought a clown for you guys. So you're welcome. Anyway, let's get some of the social media out of the way. We have our Instagram page at GoNoGo Movie Reviews. We have our Twitter page at GoNoGo Show. We have our YouTube page, GoNoGo Show. Just put in GoNoGo Show. Sometimes I get some problems with that. And we're on WPCommunitymedia.org. And on if you're in the White Plains area, you could watch us on Cablevision 76 and Verizon 45. And so since we've been away for a few weeks, there's some movies that are still playing that I'd like to touch base on before we get into the three most important movies that we're going to be doing today. So what's the first graphic? There we go. Taken 3. Taken 3. If you've seen the Taken movies, you've seen this. The one thing that was great about this movie is that nobody got taken in this one.
Right.
It was more of a fugitive.
You knew what you were watching from the beginning.
So people stop complaining. Taken, the magic of Taken is never going to happen again. Okay, we just come. Brian Mills is a great character. He is a complete badass. Why not just enjoy what he does for a living? Because now the whole government's after him. Everyone's after him. He got framed for a murder he didn't commit, and now he's going around trying to prove his innocence. So just check your brain at the door and enjoy it.
He can't die. He just doesn't.
Exactly. He's like a superhero. Just enjoy that and just forget about the first one is a classic. We'll leave it alone and just let's enjoy the character from now on. So please stop complaining about him. Taken 3 was pretty cool.
It was.
Okay, on to the next one. Mark Wahlberg in The Gambler. I love Mark Wahlberg. Don't you love Mark Wahlberg?
I do love Mark
Everyone
Wahlberg.
loves Mark Wahlberg.
Fantastic.
This movie stunk. I'm so sorry. I'm jumping off the bandwagon, the Mark Wahlberg bandwagon on this one, but the movie was just dark and it was a downer. I was watching like, I don't care about this guy.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good movie, but the fact that it had Mark Wahlberg made it a little bit watchable.
Oh, of course.
Anybody else in that role
Anyone in this would have just completely disappeared. Yeah. But Mark Wahlberg, he's a detestable character in this movie. He's unapologetic. He makes bad decision after bad decision. Says, hey, I tell the truth. I don't care. I'm that kind of guy. Deal with it. And you're like, well, then forget you. I hope these people kill you.
I don't want to deal with it.
So anyway, Rent Rounders, if you want to see a really good poker movie or something like that, a gambling movie, because this one was Into the Woods. I was not excited about this film. When I saw the trailer to this, I thought, oh man, it's Disney character overload. It's too much princesses, too much of this and that. Like, what's going on here?
Right. Well, I saw the play, so I was excited about it because
that's what I didn't know.
Yes,
it was a play, right?
It was, and I saw it, and I worked on it like backstage once, and I was really into the play, so I was excited about the movie. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
very
and
much.
I actually have to I retract my previous statement. I enjoyed this movie very much. Everyone in it was amazing. Meryl Streep. So sorry. Meryl Streep. Wow. I didn't know she could sing. Apparently a lot of people did, but I didn't know she could sing. She has a beautiful voice. She's one of the probably the best actors of our lifetime.
Yeah, she's good.
She's incredible. And Emily Blunt. Who knew Emily Blunt? Whoa, with the pipes on Emily Blunt. Chris Pine too. He was hysterical in this movie.
Chris Pine's always
as
great.
the Prince. He was great. I didn't know he could sing as well. All these people. It makes me mad because they're not just great actors. They're singers and entertainers as well. Yeah. I wanted to punch him, but the movie's really good.
Right, and I'm neither.
What's coming up next? And Annie.
Yeah, I like this one. I enjoyed this one. I have kids though, but I like this one.
He has kids.
You know, I like anything when you modernize anything. I enjoy it. A lot of people like, no, don't mess with the classics. You can modernize anything, and I'm gonna like it.
I actually agree with that too. Like you said before, Footloose.
Footloose.
The
remake of
Footloose
Footloose
was a good remake, but this one, I mean, I didn't feel the chemistry between any of the characters. Jamie Foxx's character, I didn't feel him falling for the girl, therefore I didn't fall for the girl. Cameron Diaz was way over the top.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz was terrible, but I actually did like Jamie Foxx. I'm not a huge Jamie Foxx fan, but I think he did.
I really wanted to love the film though, because the trailer got me, and it was like, it's a hard knock life. They're doing all like the choreography with the mops and like sweeping and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. But like halfway through it, I was like, it just lost steam, and I was like, okay, let's wrap it up. So that one got a no-go for me. And Wild. I thought Wild was a very, very deep movie.
It was very deep.
Very nice.
Very
movie.
deep. A little long.
A little long.
But
yeah. Well, I mean,
it
gets you into it. It's Into the Wild with Reese Witherspoon. If anyone's seen that movie Into the Wild with Emil Hirsch, it's like you're on this journey to just find yourself. And I thought it was gonna be another Eat, Pray, Love, and and Reese Witherspoon was just gonna be like, oh, so give me an Oscar, give me another Oscar. But it actually turned out to be a very deep, very very nice movie to watch, and it shows the complexity of human nature, just how. You don't really have to apologize for every mistake you make, because we're all human. We make mistakes, and sometimes the biggest mistakes shape you into the person you're going to be for the rest of your life. And sometimes if it wasn't for those mistakes, you wouldn't become that person. So it shows that you got to take the good with the bad, push through it. There's a line in the movie they keep using over and over again called, she keeps saying, put yourself in the way of beauty. And so I said in my review, put yourself in the way of beauty and watch this film, because it was a very, very, very good film.
It was.
Wild. So I think we should just jump right into it, right?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to get into the first movie on our list. It's Chris Hemsworth, Michael Mann film, Black Hat.
Some hacker is hitting our financial markets.
4 major banks, and that's just what we know about?
If we want clues to the hacker's identity, we need a man named Hathaway.
What do we know about this guy?
He's a convicted hacker serving 15 years at MIT. Genius coder.
I want you to commute my sentence for identification and the apprehension of the guy you're after. Those are the terms. Is he political? Terrorist attack? Any declaration?
The guy we're working will drop the big hammer and not think twice about it.
He's on the move again.
Chicago, now China.
This is only the beginning. He's still writing. What for?
Mama, take this badge off for me.
Real hit is still to come.
I can't use it.
You get discovered, you're dead meat.
You have to run.
Knocking on heaven's door.
This isn't about money. This isn't about politics. I can target anyone. Anything. Anywhere.
Well, we're back.
Yeah, so
that
that was Black Hat.
That's Black Hat for you. I think you should say something, because I got to wake up.
It was a very, very long, very boring movie. The action was great. The action scenes were great, but they were very few and far between. And it just got to the point that by the end, when it got pretty good, I was already finished with it. I didn't even care. I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but
yeah, that's right. I felt the same way when I was sitting in the theater, and I was like, I was like, okay, this movie has to be wrapping up soon. I'm looking at my watch. I'm like, and then I was like, oh no, I have an hour and 15 minutes left. Whoa, no! Like, I thought I was gonna. I don't usually walk out on movies, but it was testing my patience. But Michael Mann, I love you, man. You are such a great director. Public Enemies, Collateral. I even like the Miami Vice, even though it's kind of boring as well too. But you have this visual style all your own. Your action is intense. It's realistic. It's gritty. It's just there was barely any in this.
Yeah, the scenery was beautiful. Yeah, the whole movie. The locations.
Michael Mann definitely uses his locations as if they're an integral character in the story,
yes,
which is really nice. But this one is like, it was just the scenes were just way too drawn out of things that just didn't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
And you didn't see the bad guy until like an hour and a half into the movie. So the whole time they're pretty much chasing a ghost, and you're like, what's this guy? What's his motive? What are they doing? What's going on?
I feel like the main reason they released this movie when they did is because of the whole Sony hack thing, and now hackers are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just,
and you know what? And I thought maybe that would help. That would help the film.
It probably did. It probably would.
Yeah, for what little bit it helped.
Just imagine what it would be like.
It is a very timely subject matter, and it could have been very, very, very exciting because cyber terrorism, that's the wave of the future. Because everything we have nowadays is computerized and cybered and whatnot.
Yeah, they had the opportunity. It's just
they did. And Chris Hemsworth, I'm sure Chris Hemsworth, you're going to be just fine. Don't worry about it. You're a strapping young lad. You're a great leading man. You're a physical force to be reckoned with. Exactly.
Literally a
Norse god. He's a Norse god. Just work on your American accent a little bit harder, please.
Not even bothering anymore.
I mean, I love you to death, but it's like, why didn't you just stick with your Australian? It's an international thriller. Just go ahead, go be Australian. Why do you have to be English? Because sometimes when some words that he said, it took me out of the film. When he I was like, okay, why don't you just be Thor? Be Thor in this movie. It'll be much more entertaining.
Yeah.
But I mean, it has some good characters in it. It turned out to be a pretty decent thriller, just not one that I would spend $15 to go see in the theater.
That's the kind of movie you see once and you never have to watch again.
Yeah, I actually, when I stood up and I turned around to grab my jacket, I saw 2 people sleeping in it, and I was like, oh, I felt bad. I was like, they paid so much money for this. So my verdict, I'm going to have to give this one a no-go for the theater experience.
I agree with you. I'm giving it a no-go.
No-go as well. So we got 2 no-goes for Black Cat. I'm so sorry, Michael Mann. I will be first in line for your next film. Same thing with you, Chris, because I know it's going to be Avengers, so I don't have to really worry about it. But all right, we're going to get up onto the next film. The next film, which is another very timely film to come out, considering that last week was Martin Luther King weekend, we have Selma.
He's got supporters. Detroit, New York, Los Angeles, inciting large-scale arrests and sympathy marches.
I'm very aware of that, Mr. Hoover. What I do know is he's nonviolent. What I need to know right now, what's Martin Luther King about to do next?
Mr. President, Dr. King is here.
Mr. President, in the South, there have been thousands of racially motivated murders.
We need your help, Dr. King. This thing's just going to have to wait. It cannot wait. You got one big issue, I got 101.
Selma it is.
Here is the next great battle.
Selma's the place, and they ready.
Dr. King.
I tell you, that white boy can hit.
We will not tolerate agitators attempting to orchestrate a disturbance in this state.
It is unacceptable that they use their power to keep us voiceless. Those that have gone before us say no more.
People actually say they're gonna kill our children. They're trying to get inside of your head.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough? We build the path as we came, rock by rock. The sail is probably bugged. It probably is.
We must march. We must stand up.
You march those people into rural Alabama, it's got to be open season.
May I have a word?
There's no word to be had.
There's 70 million people watching. These pictures are going around the world.
We must make a massive demonstration. White, black, and otherwise. Come to Selma.
I heard about the attack of innocent people. I couldn't just stand by.
Looks like an army out there.
This revolution goes on and on. This revolution goes on and on.
I've seen the glory, 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 hallelujah.
What happens when a man stands up, says enough is enough?
Right? Good trailer,
yeah,
right?
That was probably one of my favorite trailers that I've seen.
Yeah, for the people who haven't seen the trailer, you're welcome.
That was a great trailer.
Yeah, right. Man, that was I
was thinking that while
yeah, it kind of makes you like pumped. Like, Gary, you want to fight with them. Great movie.
That was a fantastic movie. It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. It was the kind of movie that I'm watching and I'm saying you know the story, you know history, but it's just the way they put it together was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
It really was a great movie.
See it played out and to see like the real footage of the march and everything like that, and intertwined with the fictionalized version. Now I know this movie's actually gotten a couple of it's been under fire lately for some things that they portray that say it is not historically accurate, like some decisions that Lyndon Johnson has made and like so one of the acts that he was pushing through. I'm not sure what all the fuss is, but I think the message is clear.
The message is clear, and even the stuff that's not historically accurate, that's a lot of behind the scenes Oval Office stuff that nobody really knows anyway. You know what I mean? That they kind of put together. So it just the way that they did it was it worked,
and they got a lot of stuff right. So for like let's say the 100 things that they got right, the 10 things that they got wrong. Even if it's a big 10 things, sometimes you do get things wrong. That's what happens when you make movies, guys. You know, they fictionalize things for dramatic effect, but they got most of it right, and it was very deep. You know,
they got the main message right, which is the most important thing to get right.
And one thing I love, David Oyelowo. I'm
not even going to try.
Oyelowo, you're not going to try. Okay.
Sounds good enough.
Well, David Oyelowo, guy who plays, there he is right there, guy who plays Martin Luther King was incredible. He completely embodied this role, and it was like you were watching him, you know, in real time. And it was very it was very dramatic. It was very like heart-wrenching to see what these people went through.
Even like you knew who he was as a character, but even the character development was great. Like how hard it was to keep the protests peaceful when
that's one thing. Yes, you're right. Exactly. And he stuck with it too, because there were people like Malcolm X who were like violent activists who were calling him Uncle Tom and this and that because he wouldn't take charge and stuff. But he was the one. That's why he was such a revolutionary. He was the one that realized that will get you nowhere. It's like when your parents are teaching, like you teach your kids, use your words. You know, fighting will get you nowhere. Same thing. He remained. He was the peaceful activist of our time, and he remained peaceful, and he got the message spread, and pretty much got us where we are today.
And what I liked about it is the way the message was spread. It wasn't even necessarily a black against white thing. It was just a people
humanity.
It was humanity because with the marching, it wasn't only black people marching. It was white people marching with them. It
anyone
got everybody
who wanted to stand up to injustice.
Absolutely.
And they said this is a human thing. This is for human rights. You know, not just race rights. Not just for blacks to be able to do things. It's for just anyone who we are all created equal. Guess what, guys? Spoiler alert, in life, we're all human, right? You know, you cut me, I bleed. You tickle me, I laugh. You tickle me, tickle. But I'm telling you, it's humanity on its rawest form, and it's just to get over ourselves, guys.
Yeah,
right?
It really
just
was.
Get over yourselves.
It was an amazing movie. It was
the differences are ridiculous.
It was the kind of movie that when it ended, I just sat there, just kind of like,
yeah, right.
They did it. They did it.
Yep, got your point across. And, you know, and people need to see this. They need to see this.
They do. It really was a fantastic movie.
Yeah. Well, in case you haven't noticed, I'm giving it a go.
100% a go. And I'm glad that it's nominated for Best Film. I feel bad that none of the actors are nominated for Best Actor, but it needs to be nominated for Best Film. Whether it wins or not, I'm sure, there's a lot of films that are up there with it, but
just so it could get the exposure that it needs.
It was amazing. It really was great.
And it is getting out there. It just needs to spread just a little bit more. Everyone go out and watch this film. It's really, really, really good.
Yes, please do.
So go from us.
Go.
We're going to go on to the next one. Another heavy-hitting movie. One that I was exhausted. You could hear a pin drop after the movie. Okay. American Sniper.
Let me ask you a question, Chris. Would you be surprised if I told you that the Navy has credited you with over 160 kills? Do you ever think that you might have seen things or done some things over there that you wish you hadn't?
Oh, that's not me, no.
What's not you?
I don't tell you enough. I'm so proud of you. You're such a great father.
So you're not worried about what might happen?
I'm willing to meet my creator and answer for every shot that I took.
I'll pick it up. Drop it.
So what, are you in Germany or where?
I'm stateside.
You're home? What are you doing?
I guess I just needed a minute. The thing that haunts me are all the guys that I couldn't save.
Hey! Send to my daughter, please, right now!
I'm ready.
Oh, my God!
home.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Wow. That's exactly. See,
my.
you heard that silence? Listen. That's what you heard the entire time after this film.
Yeah.
When the credits were rolling.
That was a fantastic
with
moment.
the exception of some sniffles and some blubbering, because that was me. I was like, yeah. It was
a true story, obviously. So.
Yes.
I mean, it still won't give away the ending, but if you know the story, you know how it ends.
Right. Apparently, a lot of people are mad about that. Like, don't tell me the ending.
Yeah.
And some people are like, well, it's been all over the news for the last few years. Where you been? But then it shows how many people watch the news.
Right. But I have to say, Clint Eastwood going out his final movie with a bang, huh?
Final movie?
No, there's no way he's living for another movie. That guy's like 120 years old now.
Yeah.
He's not. He's done.
84 is close to that.
He's done. No, that was impressive. His stories are usually like kind of like basic one-track stories,
Right.
in my opinion. But this was just.
No, I agree.
This was very deep.
I was thinking about that too. He's very good with the dark, ominous tones
Yeah.
and very dramatic, long dialogue type of films. But this, he captured the combat beautifully.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I couldn't believe it. It was intense. Like, you really felt. This is, out of all the post, like, Iraq war movies, or like the modern day war movies that came out, which aren't very popular in the mainstream film, but this one really, like, got me.
Yeah.
This was one of my favorites. This has to be probably my favorite war film since Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing since Saving Private Ryan, because we talked about the last time. Fury just didn't do it for me.
Right,
But this
I know how
one,
much you hated Fury.
this one was great.
Yeah.
And I like the character development of the main character, because
Oh, boy.
it's just like you see like the two different people. Like you see when he's deployed in Iraq, he's becoming more human, and then when he's home with his family, he's becoming less human.
Yes.
It's just the
It's so
way
sad.
it's like drifting apart.
Yeah, and that's one of the most powerful scenes was in the trailer right there when she was like, "You're stateside." He goes, "I guess I just needed a minute," and he started breaking down. Like, he was home.
Yeah.
He could have went home to see his kids, but no, he went to that bar because he just couldn't. He couldn't face himself. And that's one thing. A beautiful thing about this film is that it's a war movie that dealt heavily with PTSD.
Yes.
Which anyone who can't keep up with the acronyms nowadays, that is post-traumatic stress disorder.
Disorder, yes.
And this one really, really touched on it and what these guys go through. And you know what? Put your differences aside. I don't care what side of the fight you're on. If you're for the war, if you're against it, if you're liberal, if you're conservative, no matter what you are, these guys, we will not be able to be doing this show today if it wasn't for guys like this. You know what I mean? And
It's true.
They follow orders. They're soldiers. They don't fight for either side. They fight for the person next to them, and they fight to try and do what's right. And just don't take it out on our soldiers, please, because they are literally putting their entire lives on the line. And whether they come back or not, if they come back, sometimes they come back injured. Even if they come back and fully intact, you have no idea what's going on up here, because sometimes this could be just as broken as losing an arm or a leg or something. That could be just as hard to deal with at home.
Yeah,
so like,
absolutely.
it's a very good love letter to these guys and the stuff that they go through.
And even with his character, it was almost like the opposite of the PTSD, because most guys come home and it's just and they're freaked out from what they've been through and they don't want to go back. His blood pressure was high because he didn't want to be home. He belonged in the war. That's all he wanted to do.
Absolutely. He said that his only regret was not being able to save more, and he felt every minute he spent at home, people are dying on the other side that he could have saved, and that is a very tough burden for someone like that, because he grew to be this legend, this legendary sniper, and he felt that this is my duty. He kind of reminded me of the character of Jeremy Renner's character in The Hurt Locker when he was home, and at the end of the movie he's home and he's walking through the aisles of the supermarket, and he's like he's just like looking at cereal boxes, like what am I doing here?
You
know,
can even
I need
see
to be over there.
with Bradley Cooper when he was home, he was getting his oil changed, and he just hears a sound, and it brings him back to everything.
Yeah.
He sees a van pulling up next to him at home, and it reminds him
He's in the
of
safest
something
place
else.
in the world. He's back home in America. He's in the safest place in the world, basically, and every little thing makes him tick. You know, like anything, he starts losing it for little things, and it's very intense. Bradley Cooper, well done.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it up for Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper came a long way from The Hangover, a long way from Wet Hot American Summer. Remember that one?
I love that.
Man, he's really, look at him. Look at this guy. He packed on some weight too. He got pretty brolic in this one. I was kind of very jealous of this guy too. Like,
they did a great job because he looked like
perfect. Yeah, it was a
real
splitting image. Him and Sienna Miller.
Yes.
She did a very wonderful job too.
Sienna
Not only
Miller,
did they
she hasn't been around for
a while. Yeah, but they picked her perfect
for a little bit. Yeah.
Great actress, and she looked just like him. So this couple, when they showed the split screen at the end, they not only looked like them, they portrayed them very well. And I'm sure the family of Chris Kyle will be very happy with this film, because the utmost reverence and respect to this legendary soldier, basically.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm glad they're shining a light on his life.
Great job, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Well, I just heard he had a baby.
Did he? What?
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I think it's definitely not his because.
Are we starting a rumor?
No. Somebody told me this.
I think we're starting a rumor now.
Somebody told me he just had a baby, but it's definitely not his. But he doesn't know what DNA is, so he's going to be like, okay, I'm with you. You had a baby. It's mine. He doesn't know
what DNA is.
Yeah, he doesn't know. DNA came out like 800 years after he was born.
Right, when he was probably about 70,
He's so
75. Old. Yeah, but so good. So good, Mr. Eastwood. My hat's off to you. Hats off, Mr. Eastwood, even with my 90210 here. Yeah, so, all right. So, okay, this, not only this, I guess I forgot. I'm not only giving this a go, but I'm making it official. What? Making it official. It's the first official seal of approval of 2015. Mark it on your calendars. Go see it. If you go see it and you don't like it, not only will I pay for your ticket, and you really have to not like it. You can't just be like, I want him to pay for my ticket. It's like, if you go and you see it and you don't like it, I will pay for your ticket, and I give you permission to come to my apartment in Manhattan and throw eggs at my window. I will. I will gladly clean it too, because you will not be disappointed.
You won't be. Definitely go.
Official seal of approval from this guy right here.
I'll second that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I'll second that. Official seal.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for us.
Yeah.
It's very nice to be back, guys. I can't wait to come back and do this again. If you want to touch on the whole social media thing again, it's Instagram is @GoNoGo Movie Reviews. Twitter is @GoNoGo Show. YouTube is GoNoGo Show. We have WPCommunityMedia.org. And on TV in White Plains, if you're a White Plains resident, it's going to be Cablevision 76, Verizon 45.
Yes, good job.
One right. What's up? I don't have to point at the graphic on the bottom and be like, yeah, look at that, because I messed up. All right.
And one more time, download the podcast called The Creepy Corner. It's on iTunes. You can follow us on Instagram at The Creepy Corner. That's just the name at Instagram. And why not? Throw me a follow. Joe Yonkers 21. Throw me a follow on there.
Why not?
Only have like 11.
And the comedy show as well.
Yes, Wits and Whiskey. We do it once a month. It's a good time. Come
Yonkers,
on.
Right?
Yeah, Yonkers, the Heritage, McLean Avenue.
There you go. Okay, guys, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.